So you downloaded the Approach 16 journal program and you don't know what the hell is going on. Well, I will show you some of the features of the program and the extra files that come with the setup program. So we will get into it right now. The Approach 16 is a distance calculator and a journal for keeping track of your shots using the top tracer information. So let's get into some of the features now about it. So after the setup has run, where in the hell are all my files? Well, they are located inside the program files x86 folder, and when you open that up you'll see the Approach 16 folder, and when you double click that you will then see all the files. Go over some of the database files. The x87 ball, that's the master ball file, and it's also compatible with the Approach 15 if you have that. So if you have Approach 15, just copy that file, 87ball.mdb, over into the Approach 16 folder. The course data, of course, that's all the listing of the courses and holes. My clubs, that contains all the top tracer information. And there's a graphic file called myball.png, and that's a graphic file that is used in the master database file for your clubs. The application programs that actually run is the main program, the Approach 16, the directional clock, the Magnafixer, the putter program, screen rotor, and the stopwatch that we use for dot counting. The Approach 16 and all the tools were designed around the WGT screen resolution of 1024 by 768. So if you have a larger screen, you might have to reposition things more. I'm not sure. The smaller screen, though, it does allow your meter speed to run a little slower. So if you can play with the smaller screen, that would work out best. Here's how my screen looks with WGT. I have my Magnafixer and directional clock. I have my ruler over my ball, the height of the ball, vertical. I have the Approach 16 program up and the putter program. And this is how my screen layout looks. So just reposition your tools on your desktop and get it to your liking. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to set up your ball file. The program comes with the 87 ball carry numbers. So it's based on these attributes of the ball. So if yours are different, you need to go into the master ball file from the maintenance menu and select that and change the data. This is the master ball file. It has a listing of all your shots from your clubs, and again this is the 87 ball here. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to either change the carry or you can add new records. So down below is the navigator bar, and each of these buttons represents a function. So if you're going to change one, you would use the edit button, or if you the plus key to add a new one. So we'll get into changing that in the next screen here. So if you're editing, you'll be editing the highlighted record here. And once you click on the edit button, you'll see that these input fields have turned to yellow from orange, meaning you're in edit mode. so you can manipulate the data. Over here in the choose a ball location, the only stipulation here is never change the wording T into this, because the program uses the word T in the location to filter out tee shot records only. Any other locations you can add yourself or change, and they will update themselves when you exit the program. So, and the AAM is the apex aim multiplier. Leave that at 1. What that does is when it's at 1, it will use 100% of the grids to move calculation. And if you find it's too much, you can back it down, maybe 0.95 for each club in spin, or you can increase it maybe 1.1 to add more. So once you've clicked everything and changed everything here, you can go ahead and click the green check mark to save it. And when you're updating or changing the ball location, there's no need to type that in. You would come over into the yellow memo box and you would click on a location here from the choose a ball location, and that will automatically put that into the ball location field. So you don't have to type it in, just choose one. If you don't see the one you want, just add it to this yellow memo box and it will be saved. Same thing when we go to add a record, we would click on the plus key. The fields turn yellow again. Type in your information. Same thing with the ball location. Just select something from the memo box and it will automatically put it in. Key in your information, then hit the green check mark to save it. Or if you did want to save it for some reason, the letter X would cancel it. So basically the same thing as editing, except that you use the plus key, key in new information, and save it. From the main screen, you'll have these options listed here. So first you would select whether it's a tail or headwind, key in the average wind speed, and the percentage of wind, which is the windsock pointing on the clock. Then key in, then type in your elevation, whether it's up or downhill. Type in your flag distance and elevation, and then hit the calculate button or move the mouse over to the output of yardage. The center box data grid will show you any previous shots within a range. The reset button that resets the top tracer to filter out the range of clubs of shots. Your prior club will go to your next shot in your database prior, and the next club will actually go up one. So when you see that the program will try to find the nearest yardage for this calculation, so it finds the 8 iron, 149, 1.0 of spin, and to hit it a little over 100% and move 2 grids. So if you didn't like that, you would go to the next club and it will display the next one. The note field here is where you would type in notes for this course and hole, and we'll go over the options next of graph and top tracer. This example is at congressional hole number 10, getting ready to shoot our tee shot. We keyed in the wind and elevation and percentage, and the program shows a 4 iron at 1.0 of spin at 100.3, and to move almost 3 grids. We wanted to see if we had any previous shots. So we click the grid button, and this brings up our grid. So we see that a Congressional 10, based on a tailwind, 4-iron, that we've had some previous shots here. And down below we see that we've had a couple of shots with 1 miles per hour of wind. We had one that went 212 with 3 miles per hour of wind. And we had one that went 213 with a 10 mile an hour per wind. So, and we look and see the different spins. We had 2 with full back spins and 2 with 0.25 of spin, which is about 90% of backspin on the ball. So this is a reference to see how your previous shots went. So that is the graph. When you click on the top tracer or main banner from the main program, it'll bring up this top tracer form for you to key in your carry and roll, power, and spin. It will bring back the information of the current hole that you were selected and the current club and where the location is that you're hitting. So basically all you have to do is key in the carry and the roll, and if you hit the 100% power and the spin from the club that was chosen. If the spin was different, or you decided not to hit that 1.0 spin, then just key it in what you did hit. And then you would hit the enter key 3 times, and that would save it. Or you can click on the pulse shot and then click on OK when it comes up if you want to add the record, and OK again. I find it easier just to hit the enter key as you key things in, enter, you know, and then enter real fast 3 times. So the default range, this is where you're setting a range up for top tracer to filter out records for the main screen to show you previous shots. So here it's saying, you know, from whatever the yardage is and wind, show me all records that is -1 of the wind and +1 of the wind. So if you had a 5 mile an hour wind that was calculated, it would filter out the wind records, you know, between 4 and 6. And if your yards was calculated at 150 with that wind, it would filter out the records between 148 and 152 to show you that. There's a print button. Basically, it will just show you after you click show all here. That will show all your tee shot data, and if you hit the print button, you can preview all your shots. It's nice to go to the end to see how many shots you have accumulated so far, and so far I've accumulated over 1,400 records in the last month or so. So I'm hoping by next year, you know, I'll probably have maybe 12,000 records, and the gap will get smaller and smaller. So that is a top tracer form and how you use it. It doesn't take long to key in a top tracer information if you hit your shot, you know. Like I say, just use the enter key, key it in, enter, and enter again, and it's there. This is how my screen looks after I have all the programs up. And I just position them. So let's run through it and take a shot. We're at Congressional number 10 here. So the first thing we do is we decide whether it's a head or tailwind. It's a tailwind. The speed 9, right? But before we do that, we want to make sure that we're at congressional number 10. And I just hit the page down key on my keyboard to cycle through them quickly. So, all right, so now we're at 10. Win percentage, that's 85%. And it's downhill. Fly distance 208 and 27. So that's saying to hit a 5-iron off the tee, 0.75, 100%. Let's see if we have any 5-irons. We do have a couple shots here that were tailwinds before. And we had one that went 209 with 1. But we have an 8-mile-an-hour, so our wind range is right in here. So we're not going to use any of the previous shots data. We'll use the recommended 5-iron at 0.75 right here. 5-iron. We have the tee box data checked, and that will save it to your course file as a par 3 to use tee shots. All right, so let's take this shot at 100%. Let's go ahead and show our gauge, so you can bring that down and put that over the top tracer. And we'll take the shot now. About half over and 100%. We'll bring top tracer up and we'll key in that shot how it went. So what do we have? It went 213 minus 2, and all the other stuff was the same. So all I do is I just hit enter, and now we have our shot saved and graphed in the 8-mile-an-hour wind range, where it carried 213 and backed up a couple yards at 211. So that's how you would do the tee shots. We'll play a quick hole, Bethpage Black, number 10. So I hope this explains the program and what it does and kind of how to use it. So if you wish to download it, I'll have a link. All right, everyone, have a good day, and I hope that clears up any confusions. Have a good one. Bye.